Welcome back to For the Mamas Collective Podcast, a space where we believe in the power of connection and shared experiences.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jaleesa. We're so thrilled to have you back for our 16th episode.
Woo, big one,
Yeah.
six.
Yeah.
Yes. This podcast has been a dream for both of us because as moms, we know just how much connection, community, and a space to feel seen and heard really matter.
For the Mamas Collective is all about creating that space, a warm, welcoming environment where mothers from all walks of life can come together to share stories, explore the highs and lows, and celebrate the journey of motherhood.
And today's topic is one we know so many of you are going to connect with deeply. We're talking about when motherhood feels lonely.
Ooh, yeah. It's wild how you can be surrounded by little humans all day and still feel profoundly alone sometimes. Hmm.
Today, we're unpacking why modern motherhood can be so isolating, even though it's supposed to be communal, and what we can do to build real connection again.
But first, let's start with our rose and thorn check in. All right, so if you're new here, our rose is the highlight of the week, and the thorn is something that's been challenging. Danielle, here you go again. Kick us off.
Okay. So, my rose this week stemmed from last week's thorn, which is beautiful in my
Uh,
opinion. However, I last weekend just wasn't long enough.
yeah.
And, I went to work on Monday and then I looked up and it was Friday morning. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I already made it through the week. I have no idea what happened between Monday and Friday.
uh,
Um, but it was amazing because then the weekend was here again. And I was so excited about that. And I feel like I've actually had a pretty chill, productive weekend. Like the kids got out, they got to play. Chase had a sleepover at the house. Like it was a nice weekend. So for that,
yeah.
I am grateful. Um, Thorn. Thorn right now is just, I don't know, the universe is like really giving out some let's say unfair, but just some heavy
Mm,
circumstances right now to what feels like so many people around me.
yeah.
And that's a thorn in my butt because like I don't want anybody to like ache or hurt or like be saddened. And it's
Yeah.
just like it feels like nobody can even buy a basket. Like if they
Yeah.
wanted to, like even if I had a basket to give, it's like somehow it wouldn't make it to them. And it's just,
Mm.
I don't know. That's pricking me because I want better for everyone.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like life cares right now.
Mm.
Maybe that's a little heavy. Sorry.
But I mean, that's real, right? Kind of, you've experienced that where like, oh, things are pretty good, but then witnessing for other people and, being on the inside or outside of whatever's happening. And kind of like I was saying last time, that helplessness of others, kind of witnessing that.
Yeah, especially when like you kind of feel so good and then you feel like the guilt,
Mm.
that like some people are just getting hit over and over again. It's like they just really can't win for
Yeah.
anything. And I don't know, that's just it's hard to watch. It's hard to be a part of. It's hard to look in on all of that. So
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Well, you
but
know what? Let's hold on to that because I think that will tie into our topic pretty well too. Yeah.
sounds about
So,
right. Tell me about your week.
yeah, I feel like the week went by fast for me too. I'm trying to remember. This is like my lighter work week, so I
Mm,
just didn't do maybe that's what it was. I didn't do a whole lot, which is the throws for sure. That is the roles. And give me some light work weeks. Yeah, nothing special. Just the typical stuff, which is good. Rob went out of town. That's good. I'm, good. Go out, hang out, go out with your friends, right? Like it's okay. When he left for a work thing last year and he was gone for like 10, 12 days, that was hard. This I'm like, oh, you just gone for a few days. This ain't nothing. So the kids and I've been kicking it, eating all kind of stuff, just out here doing the most. But it's been fun for us. Uh, so that was cool. The thorn is, and if y'all can't tell already, my allergies are on 10.
mm.
And that has been my thorn all week, actually. It's just been, I don't know, ever since Easter, I don't know. I'm like, man, did I eat something? Is it seasonal? I don't know what's going on, but if y'all hear me sniffling and possibly sneezing on this podcast, hey, hey, just mind your business. Keep going. Keep listening. It's all right, y'all. It's a good message. Listen past my congestion, please, and thank you.
I mean, listen, we know you're not the only one going through it.
Right.
This season is, yeah, these allergies are
Woo.
out to get anybody who's available. So
Yeah, it's a rub.
that I am sorry. I don't know. I already got this one crusty eye. Like, why is your right eye always crusty? And I just
Uh-huh.
can't win for the life of it.
Yes.
So, I get it. These allergies. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's rough, but that's all right. Pop pop a pill and keep
An
it moving.
allergy tablet. We're gonna pop an
And,
allergy
yeah, allergy
tablet and keep
tablets.
it moving.
Let's just be clear.
Right.
What we got going on. Oh my gosh.
No, I mean I do. I think that's real. Allergies are tough. I know my
Mhm.
coworker, she was down last week bad with allergies, and I
Mm.
just feel bad. And it's kind of like everything else in life though, right? Maybe this will lead into our
Mhm.
conversation, but it's like nothing stops when the allergies start,
Right.
right? Like we just have to keep
Uh-huh.
going. We just
Yeah.
act like they're not bothering us to the extent at which they are until our body, if and when rather, our body says, nope, I'm done, and then shuts down. Um,
Right.
but yeah, no, I mean, they're a part of life like so many other things. And here we are just
Yeah.
dealing with them.
Right. And even little stuff like that, like it's just you think, oh, it's just allergies, but that might create some chaos in
Yeah.
your life. It does. I'm like, I was very irritable this week because I'm trying to tell the kids, like, it ain't y'all. It ain't that I miss daddy. I'm okay. It's not, and I felt bad because Rob is excited, and I'm over here like I don't know what's happening, but I'm slowly dying, and I'm trying not to be mean because I don't want to, throw that on his excitement. And I'm like, what is it? And so that experience I was just kind of keeping to myself as best I could, but I guess you could say it created a little bit of chaos, but it was controlled. Nobody felt it. I felt it
Right.
internally. And so maybe this is the lead in where I was just like, I don't really want to tell him that I don't feel good while he's getting ready to go, on his trip. And I don't know, I guess reflective reflecting on it, I felt like, oh, I hope he doesn't feel lonely in his excitement about going out and
Yeah.
getting a break from the family because I wasn't able to fully emotionally be there, but it was because I was like, I'm dying. What's going on? And then I'm like, if I'm sick, I don't want to get him sick. So I really wasn't that affectionate, but I didn't, I bet you it came off as something is going on with me. I'm upset that he's leaving. I'm not upset. I love that for them. I don't care.
Rob, if you're listening.
Right, you better listen. I care about that part. But I was like, oh man, I was trying to pull it together and my throat. I was like, oh, my throat is killing me. Let me keep myself isolated because I
Yeah.
don't want that to impact him. But he happy, he a little merman out there, so he's good. Um, but even in that, right, it's not even just us mothers that can experience that. But when I'm, kind of speaking to sometimes you leave your partner out there because you're dealing with your own stuff or you got
Yeah.
stuff going on in your mind. So you can't even commune with your partner at times for whatever reason. And that if one, if it's not us feeling lonely, maybe they're feeling lonely as well. But for mothers, not to compare what mothers and fathers feel, but we're mothers, so we're gonna speak from where we know.
Right. We
Which
will, we
is
will, and give some insight. I mean,
yeah.
let's jump into the conversation, right? Like, how do
Yeah.
we start normalizing these experiences, right? What are some healthy
Mhm.
ways and habits that we can navigate maybe some of these chaotic times
Yeah.
that we feel
Yeah.
and that can be so isolating?
Yeah. So let's start here. We like you said, motherhood is supposed to be communal. And historically women did raise their children together, whether they were in a village or extended family, tight-knit communities.
Mm.
Um, but now, what are we doing? Maybe just
I
chatting
think
over
that's
social
not
media?
the case, right? Like it's And there's always a sidebar. Timing is impeccable when it comes to this
Mhm.
podcast, which is why I know we're doing the right thing.
Mhm.
Um, but the engagement party that I mentioned last episode, we
Yeah.
were talking there with Trey's uncle, and it was so profound because we were talking about this. Like,
Mm.
what happened to the family, right? Like, their
Mm.
generation had it. Like, the
Yeah.
grandparents helped with the children, the sisters and brothers all had kids around the same time. The cousins grew
Yeah.
up together. Like, that's what we know.
Yeah.
And, I think you probably do a better job than I do about it. But that's not the case with my family, right? Like,
Mm.
if my family sees their cousins, 100% of the time, it's on their dad's side. They have no
Mm.
cousins from my side.
Yeah.
And as far as little Ari goes, she's got exactly one cousin, one cousin that she knows. And I just reached out to the engaged couple. I reached out
Yeah.
to his fiance and I was like, hey, I know Ari's still a little mama, but listen, like they've got a gorgeous blended family, just like we've got a gorgeous blended family.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm like, it's important to me that she knows her cousins. Like, we have got to
Mm.
get together. Like, y'all
Mm.
have three girls. I have one. She has no cousins over here. Like,
Yeah.
we have to do this. And so she was like, absolutely. I love the sound of that. We're going to get it done. But like, I'm having to be proactive about that because what
Yeah.
happened to the family? And we have
Right.
friends. Don't Ari has little girlfriends,
Yeah.
friends, whatever. We have all of that. We have our village. But where we lost family along the way. I don't know. I
Mhm.
mean, even my siblings, none of them have kids. So it's not like
Mhm.
they were, you know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
Chicago and we're here and she's just missing it. No, like I'm the only one of my mother's children that has kids. She has no direct
Yeah.
cousins from me. So, I don't know. Long way to say that like he told, what the uncle had to offer was just like, no, like we started much earlier, much younger. Like
Yeah.
and because of that, now that our children are grown, we're still young enough to be out here. I mean, they
Yeah.
were leaving the engagement party to go like line dancing,
Aw.
like the middle of a Saturday, but like they in the streets more than
Yeah.
we are raising these kids now. And I was like,
Yeah.
our child's supposed to be at home taking the kids so we can be and
Right.
that's not mathing the way I need it
Right.
to. But he was just really transparent in that. He's just like, the generations got younger and then y'all kind of waited later and the
Yeah.
turn, but ugh, to go
And
back to
the
where we were
work
before.
is harder. I'm sorry, but the more educated you get, the more you're trying to strive for, access is sometimes detrimental,
Mhm.
right? Because I think that's maybe happening with my family and my cousins. It's hard to get together because we so tired from
Mhm.
the work week. It's like, man, or I have to drive so far for work and come back and then I gotta get my son, I gotta get my daughter, I gotta get this, I gotta rip and run. We
Mhm.
all make good money, but it's like the money making us because
The money's
cause we
making us.
tired. We're
That's it.
tired.
Doesn't it feel like we work and pay bills? That's it. Like,
Yeah.
like I work to pay bills. And I told Trey the other day, I was like, maybe if I didn't work, I wouldn't have bills to pay. He was like,
That's
well,
it.
I don't know about it. I was like, just hear me out for a second.
Yeah.
Because that's all I do. Like I get a paycheck and then I have to make sure the bills are paid and then I'm right back at work. Like, why did y'all
Right.
pay me on a Friday and I didn't even get to enjoy Saturday and Sunday? What happened?
Right, right. If y'all
But
out there, y'all get that, like, and does that feel lonely? Like, oh, I want to, but I can't because I'm exhausted. Like work has taken everything from me.
yes, yes. And it's not so, and I think that's why we fall into these, I'm gonna call them unhealthy habits because we
Yeah,
know that they are,
yeah,
but that dang social media. When
yeah,
we're exhausted and we have nothing else to give, and sure, it would be
yeah,
great to connect with a girlfriend. You remember we used to try to do like our wind down Fridays, and it
yeah,
was like so amazing. I mean, it was also chaotic with
yeah.
kids running around
Right.
in the background.
Yes.
We would try, and now we're just sitting back and we're scrolling. We're taking those few minutes that we can get and we're on social media.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a double edged sword because, like,
it kind of feels good in the moment, but is it really good
Mhm.
for us? Like, where is it taking us? What is it
Right.
doing to our mindsets? Is it making us feel more connected or possibly more isolated? Because we
Right.
know that social media is giving us the best of everything that, the poster had to offer.
Oh, oh my god. Yes, if I see one more aesthetically pleasing stay-at-home mom in the kitchen cooking a gourmet meal, oh my god. Crock pot and salad. That is real life.
That's it.
And the kitchen is not aesthetically pleasing. It
If I get
is
one
not.
more ASMR, what's it called? And they be
Yeah.
them nails cooking their husband breakfast and lunch
Oh.
at 1 a.m. Because listen, first of all, we're all
Mm-mm.
sleeping, including him.
Yeah,
None of
right.
that. None of that. The
None
dogs
of that.
are down. The house is quiet at 1.
Right.
Period.
I'm up.
Right. Up thinking
Watching
about
this
what
shit.
I need to write. None, neither
Right.
here nor there. But it's just like, what are y'all doing? You know what I mean? And or like in the
Mhm.
mirror, like these moms, they got babies tied to them, doing their makeup, fluffing their curls.
I
First
don't
of
get
all,
that.
do y'all know what my head looks like on a day to day? You don't want to. There's a
Right.
reason we're not on camera yet because we're
Right.
trying to get this out
Mm-mm.
there.
Right.
There's not enough time to look like these social
I
media.
can't.
I don't
I
even want
look
to call
like
them
what I've been
influencers,
through.
but that's what they want to be called.
Girl, and we out here looking like what we've been through and feeling lonely about it. Honey,
Hmm.
I'm gonna slap on a headband wig. Okay. Hopefully have my eyebrows done. If you do get to see me in person, I mean, it has to be easy. I don't have a 10-step morning process and then, you know, putting everything in a little organized. That is maybe where I would feel some loneliness and like in the like we talk about perfecting life and trying to get it.
Hmm.
No, I no. But to go back to the original point, right? Like just the impact of social media and how it takes us further and further away from the simple things in life, which is the community and the connection to just be like, let's go and do this. Like my girlfriend and I, we
Hmm.
just happened to have a dinner date on Friday because, I got a Hail Mary from my dad. He like, yeah, we're not gonna go out. Cool. And she was like, her husband is out with Rob, and so she was like, I'm gonna get rid of my kids. I'm like, if you still getting rid of your kids, let's go out for a little bit because I got a Hail Mary. And then we both
Yes.
was just like, let's slap on whatever we can slap on and run and let's do it. It was 3 hours, but it was so needed. And for me, I have to do that. And I sat on that. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
Should I reach out? I don't want to bother anybody. Cause like I said last time, ask is ask. I'm not worried about the yes or the no. I'm like, ooh, am I gonna bother you? Am I gonna disrupt your day? And I think we're just overthinking social
Yeah.
media. Also, some of the stuff that like we're sending each other memes like I'm tired, I don't want to be bothered, or when I'm done with work, or I just and so then I think we have a narrative that is unspoken that is also not true. Like yeah, I might feel that way in the moment, but yeah, ask me. I might not be able to come, or we're gonna have to do it with these kids, but
Right.
I think we get used to, I don't want to bother you. You must be feeling what I'm feeling. I know you're tired. I know you work a
Right.
lot. So let me not bother you. And then now we lonely because we're not trying to
Hmm.
bother each other because we both know or we all know what we've done all week. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think that is a problem with our generation, the overload of information and the over awareness and just trying to be a good person and a good parent. Not to say
Hmm.
previous generations weren't, but they didn't have to think that hard. It was like,
Hmm.
I'm calling, I'm talking to you on the phone anyway. Our plans get developed because we just sitting on the phone together for an hour, and
Yep.
now we got something to do and we got somewhere to drop the kids off anyway. For us, it's different. It's like it's got to be a plan. It's got
Right.
to be a week in advance. It's
Ooh,
not
okay.
gonna be surprise.
I have a whole conversation that we had last night about the internet in our
Yeah,
home. We're gonna have to bring that on front of the topic because you just said
yeah.
something and
Uh
that's
oh.
golden. But no, yeah, it's social media and it's not helping
Mhm.
us. And it's not
Mhm.
and it's look, the weather's getting nice. I feel
Yeah.
like this episode is timely.
Yeah.
Y'all better listen because we're gonna jump
Yeah.
into it. Like it's not, we're gonna answer those questions. Like, is it me? Am I doing something wrong?
Yeah.
Because we send those memes back and forth, and yeah, we get it, but how quickly the algorithm changes, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, it's girlfriends doing brunch dates, and you're like, oh, I should have,
Uh-huh.
I, and it's just like, dang, I can't get ahead of the curve. I can't win for what feels like losing in this scenario.
Right.
And now but the weekend has passed. Now you got to,
Yeah.
that looks different because the sports season has, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's answer some real questions.
Yeah. Let's get
Okay.
into it.
All right. Let's see. Number one,
Mm.
when was the last time you truly felt connected to someone? Like, not just small talk, but really seen.
Mm.
Okay. Think about it.
Mm.
Come back around.
Mhm.
Number two, what parts of your motherhood journey do you keep hidden because you think no one else will understand?
Ooh, that's it right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Getting deep. All right.
Yes.
And number three, how often do you tell yourself, I don't want to bother anyone, instead of reaching out when you need support?
Uh-oh, my hand is raised. Ooh, if it hurts, say ouch, 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 ouch. That's me.
Ouch.
Yeah, those are huge, man. And it's like, right, sometimes the loneliness isn't just about not having people, it's about
Mhm.
not feeling safe enough to be real.
Yeah.
Like, that is so real right there. No one makes you feel that way. It's just the narrative that is created in our mind and heavy on the I don't want to bother anyone.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, everybody looking to get bothered. Like, bother me. Tell me something. I want to share in the experience. Like, yeah, let's get out. And but we're
Mhm.
all overthinking it, putting
Mhm.
too much on it, putting too much dip on the chip.
Mhm.
Hey.
Too much. And you know what? About that first question about, like, really feeling seen,
Mm,
we have a friend couple, and
mm,
one partner is very, very good at just, like,
mm.
deep conversations. Just, how are you? No, how are you?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just really, like, pulling the questions together, while the other partner is very much, um I don't know, just kind of what you would expect an answer to be, like, oh, life's life,
Mm,
just making it work with the kids, just da da da. And, like, that's always the case. That's every
yeah.
conversation. And sometimes Trey and I will chat about that, because it's an interesting dynamic to see, like, how deep
Mm,
one is versus the other. Because Trey and I think we both appreciate the deepness, but sometimes I think when we're trying to protect others,
mm.
we're not realizing that, like, they do want to be vulnerable, but
Yeah.
we're cutting it short, and we're wondering why it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, you really
Mm-hmm.
want to say something, but you hold back, and so now they won't get off what they want to say because they think you want to keep it light. And it's just like this
Yeah.
circle where we're chasing each other's tails. Like, just say what you gotta say, you know
Yeah.
or just, like,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that, like, we are people. We want to feel seen and to really
Mhm.
be heard and understood. And it's
Mhm.
not always about an opinion, right? I'm not
Mhm.
asking for advice. Just listen. Just hear me out. This week was hard. The week
Yeah.
is over. There's nothing anybody can do about it. So I
Right.
don't need a way to fix it, right? I don't even plan
Right.
on taking that last week into this week.
Right.
We want to hear, I want to feel heard, feel seen. I want it to be
Yeah.
acknowledged that, like, I made it through the week. But,
Right.
again, I think we let people off easy, and then we sit back and wish we could have had more.
Mm.
Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, like you
Okay.
said, you kinda oh, taking into consideration how they may feel and where they wanna go, but now there's an over consideration of that to the point where, the conversation doesn't have as much depth because we're protecting, like you said, each
Mhm.
other's business. And it's like, well, and maybe that's the difference of the previous generations as well. I don't think they thought about that. It was just like, okay, you want to go out. Maybe they weren't having these conversations. So again, our generation is a little bit burdened with this idea that we have to care for everyone else's process and life and what they're going through and what they're dealing with, and try to connect with each other and figure out how to talk, what to say, what to do. how are we showing up? We're all so
Mhm.
different. And then that's the other thing too. Not everybody has that where we grew up together. I know you. I can fill in the gaps. Like for you instance, right? Of
Mhm.
making new friends, making connections, making friends, family. That's a deeper step than just we grew up together. I know how you think. I know how you roll. I know what's gonna bother you. I know how to talk. Not
Right.
but now you're getting to know people and that takes years to be like, I know how to move around your energy in a a normal way. And
Mhm.
so a part of us, we have that added task of doing that dance with each other, learning each other's language, but we're in fear of saying the wrong thing or saying it the wrong way. And it's like,
Right.
we could just talk. But I do think that does circumvent loneliness when you can just get deep with people. Like,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
care what your opinion is or like what your ideas are, just share them because that's really interesting to me. I want to get that deep. And I say that too why it's important to know at this stage in life, I have a curated group of people that I deal with
Mhm.
so that I can show up authentically enough that we could do that. That I got some people I can talk to about certain things,
Right.
but you're never feeling like, oh, I don't have it. But what we have is people to talk to. What we're missing is getting together,
Yeah.
life slowing down so that we can actually have those moments. So, that's the kind of minutia of it is thinking about the conversation. But really what you just said is that y'all are together and y'all are communing and talking, but you're
Mhm.
together.
Right.
And that's the piece that we miss. It's like making time. That like time is so arbitrary and we all make it so tangible that like we have to stick to the
Yeah.
deadline, stick to this, stick to that. And then but we're not paying attention to what we actually need. Like if
Mhm.
time has to exist, in what way? Feeding our souls with the
Right,
company of
right.
others. Like we're just living, we're not actually feeding our souls and doing with time what we're meant to do with it, which is just be present.
Mhm. Yep. I love
Yeah.
that, and I think there's so much I okay, you said something, which was
Mhm.
we're missing the getting together, right?
Yeah.
And I felt that, and we do. We spend so much trying to plan, so much time trying to plan, and then trying to plan in the midst of what feels like other things, which
Yeah.
is also like I know I've felt this form of isolation, but like we're trying to plan and I shoot you a text, but now I'm just waiting. Right? Like, we didn't do that
Mm.
before. You pick up the phone, you leave a
Yeah.
voicemail and they pick
Yeah.
up on a voicemail or they call you back. You know what I mean? But it's like
Yeah.
you had the conversation, you knew what the plan was. But now
Yeah.
everything, like so much time is passing just between conversations or trying to get to an endpoint. And then you look up and you're like, oh, well, it's nap time now. So, rain check. And nobody did
Yeah.
anything. And I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of the problem where it's just like, let's just do it. Like, who
Mhm.
you need to go to the grocery store, I need to go to the grocery store. We can walk around the grocery store together. We were gonna
Right.
both come. Like, my
Right.
girlfriend and I have done that. I'm like, hey, I'm getting ready to go to the
Yeah.
store. Like, okay, let's go. And
Yeah.
it's nothing but like it's amazing how just getting out the house and doing it with somebody because Trey don't like to grocery shop.
Right.
Her husband doesn't like to grocery shop. What man
Right.
does? But we
Right.
both have to go. And now we didn't have to go alone this one day. And we got
Yeah.
to talk and go at our own pace and who knew that could feel so good?
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
it's just it's those little things. And then I think, when you said that you had this like curated group that
Yeah.
you keep around, and there's certain people who know certain bits of information. Um,
Yeah.
you know me, I've kind of always just been an open book. So anyone
Yeah.
who knows me can know anything because I don't care. I have no regrets in life. Um,
Yeah.
I've made some poor decisions along the way, but you can know about those too. And if it helps
Right.
you learn or you can share that with somebody else, be my guest.
Right.
But I say all that to say, when you think about hiding parts of motherhood and like who you
Yeah.
are, because you don't think people will understand, it took me a long time to get over that. And not that
Yep.
I was trying to hide it necessarily, because I'm an open book, but I was trying to change who I was at my core. Like,
Mm.
I don't want people to know this about me, so I just won't be that person. And then it was just
Mm.
like, well, if you're gonna have shame attached to it, then you shouldn't be that person. But if you don't feel shame when you do it, then who cares if they know? And
Yeah.
that's where I'm at now. Who cares? Because I
Yeah.
don't feel shame. You can judge. You can do what you want with your kids. You
Yeah.
cannot leave your kids with me. That's fine too.
Mhm.
However, the kids are always safe.
Yeah.
This is just what I need to do as a mom to get me through every day.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think that when we think about like hiding pieces of ourselves because people won't understand, I think we're cheating ourselves there.
Yeah.
Because you'd be surprised what people understand or what people may even be feeling that they don't have the words for yet, and it's like,
Mhm.
ooh, is that what that's been? Because I've been dealing with that. I
Yeah.
didn't put words to it or really vocalize it, but like that sounds familiar. And I think people are waiting on that. Like the world.
Yeah. I love that. That yeah, that's striking right now, right? Just hiding, going through the process of hiding parts of yourself, right? So you like, I don't like this about me. It's not necessarily for anybody else. It's I perceiving the world around me as it changes. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
let me change with it. But like you said, like changing that core piece. And when you free yourself from that, it is a little less lonely because just like I'm not thinking about what a person is going to judge. And I think that part of that
Right.
is there too, right? Of like that fear of judgment fosters loneliness, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if you're living authentically, then you're not burdened by that. That doesn't
Right.
weigh you down. So then you don't have to, even if you're alone. And I tell clients this all the time. I'm actively saying, okay, but what can you do with yourself? Not by
Mm-hmm.
yourself and not necessarily alone. Because some people that language is important.
Mm-hmm.
If you can say, I'm good with myself, then when you have to be alone, it's not always a burden or a hard thing or a sad
Right.
thing. But and then that allows you to look at, okay, when I am feeling lonely, what can I do? Who can I reach out to? Let me just get out here and do something alone. Let me meander about outside by myself. And I might talk to somebody I don't know. And
Right.
even a conversation with a stranger. I love when like older women coming up and like, what do you think in the store? Like, what do you think? I don't know. My daughter's not here. And I'm like, girl, that is so cute. I think you should go like, I don't know. You need to size down. Those little moments when I'm having my alone time, my with me time. But I love
Mm-hmm.
that. And that was just a little piece of connection. And those are the types of things that I think we miss from day to day when we're too afraid to be our authentic selves. Like who
Mm-hmm.
you are is a beautiful blessing. Let that shine. Let your
Yes.
inside of you, let that out so you can actually get to the people so they can
So
reach
you can
you.
attract the people, yes,
Yes.
that you
Yes.
need and that need you vice
Yes.
versa.
Yeah.
Um, no, that's it. That's it. And it's like
Yeah.
you said, it's freeing. It's less of a
Mhm.
burden. When I don't have to worry about what somebody's gonna think, it just makes it so much easier. Like there was a
Mhm.
time where like I wouldn't want to go out because I knew where I was going, everybody would look a certain way. And I
Yeah.
didn't look that way, right? Like unhappy with my weight, unhappy with my hair,
Mm.
unhappy with whatever, just unhappy with my
Yeah.
closet at the time. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um, but like I wouldn't want to go for that reason. And I had to get to a place where it's like, Daniel, it doesn't matter if the whole room, has their make like their face is like beat to a T.
Yeah.
Like I'm going with my bare face. Okay, y'all.
Yeah.
And I am here and I am happy to be here. But like this is what I had and this is who I
Yeah.
am. So I'm not gonna try to be who you are or meet you where you're at. I'm just gonna come fully me.
Mhm.
And nobody, one, it hasn't bothered anybody.
Right.
Um, Two,
Right.
I was able to enjoy myself without all the added pressure that I was putting on there.
Right.
If that's not who you are, don't be that person. Like it's
Yes.
just that simple, and it makes
Yes.
going so much easier now. Because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I can leave. I don't care. Y'all look gorgeous, and I look alright. But guess who's
Right.
here? All of us, and let's go.
Right.
That's
He
just
said,
how
"Guess
I
who's
feel.
here?
This,
I'm
we all
here. I
make
showed
it.
up. Hey, I told y'all that wig is getting put on. Wig is
Listen,
coming
yeah,
on. It's
listen.
got to get on. I could do that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Hey, I'm gonna be the friend showing up like this.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
wanna
I'm
know how
still
to
gonna be
strap it?
just as funny. You're welcome.
Yeah. The personality gonna hit every time.
Every time. Every time. And then so how about this last one, right? Like
Okay.
what how often, are we
Mm.
finding that we're avoiding situations as a means to like not bother someone, right? I think we
Mm.
did kind of talk about it a little bit, but
Mhm.
um if I had to put it on a scale, I'd probably say like 60% of the time I do
Mm.
make that consideration first.
Yeah.
Um, but that 40 is a loud 40. And it's just like,
Yeah.
girl, don't even worry about it. I'd be like, yeah, okay, send.
Yeah.
Firing off the
Right.
messages, the calls, whatever happens, happens, right? Like it's in the universe.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, how about you? Because
Mm.
I said it with Rob, and like I feel that,
Yeah.
but like if
Man.
you can't tell him, who can you tell? You know? It's
Right.
like, oh.
Right. That's why I'm like, I do. I overthink. I'm definitely like, man, am I bothering? And I really have, since we've done this podcast, I've actually been really been looking at how much I overthink. So I might say that, and I'm like, but would it bother me for someone to be like, hey girl, I was thinking about you and I just kind of want to hang out. So I would feel good if somebody just kind of randomly texted me. Like, what is the stress? What is creating the anxiousness around that? Why am I overthinking? And it, for me, is, oh my God, what am I going to do with my kids? I don't want to I get stressed about asking someone to
Mhm.
watch them. And so then I just say, no, because I've always been like, I'm just looking how I look. I don't care here. I'll come. But, right, like I said, personality gonna hit. Can't tell me nothing. I know I'm charismatic. I'm gonna get that room, but but first I got to stress about how I'm gonna get outside the house.
Right.
Uh, so that's for me. My thing is like, man, I literally sweat bullets asking somebody to watch my kids. Like, oh, I'm gonna just go
Mhm.
out a little bit. I wax and wane on that so much, and so I've gotten much better about that. But and somebody was Rob, and he was like, first of all, just tell me what you trying to do. That I don't, and you're not asking me. You
If
just let
that's
me
not
know.
us, if you're like, "You don't have to ask me to watch the kids." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I also feel bad just being like, 'I'm leaving.'" You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
I
feel
used to.
awful.
Yeah, so used to. Heavy on the
Mhm.
past tense. Cause now I'm like now I'm like, hey, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't got nothing going on. Let me go ahead on it. Because he does it. And I used to feel so much resentment. But it's
Mhm.
like, but he wants to go out and hang out with his friend. Why not? It wasn't like I'm like, you should be home with me. No, please leave, but also find something to do with the kid. So now now we just trade off experiences, right? It's like,
Mhm.
okay, you going out. Okay, you going out on Friday. Maybe I'm gonna go out on Saturday, and we will just play it that way because neither
Right.
of us want to bother our parents. Going back to not wanting to bother anybody. It's like, but they're older, they're getting, and then it's just sometimes I love y'all if y'all listening, but sometimes y'all just do too much, and asking is too much. Y'all make asking too much,
Yeah.
parents. Y'all make asking too much, and y'all really not doing anything. But sometimes a parent's silence is heavy. It, it,
Mhm.
it it's a few in the chamber. You know something coming behind your ask, and I'm
Mhm.
not ready for whatever you clocking for me to have to do. So that's an aside, but yeah, just kind of getting over that and being like, you know what, it's okay. I have to be okay with my parents saying no because I think the
Yeah.
little girl in me, that's who I like. I'm like, oh, are they gonna say no? But I get over that. I've gotten over that as we've done this podcast and just trying to move through communication. I know
Yeah.
too much to not actually do what I know.
Mhm.
Um, so it's okay. You might be bothered, but I'm gonna ask because
Right.
I want to go outside.
And you know what's crazy though is when I think about it, and I always tell my girlfriends, like, it's not a bother, right? Like I've
Mm.
got two kids who need to be watched, the
Yeah.
third is grown. But if you need to do something and you don't want to take them, like we all live, you know, I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
walking distance, let's not push it. But we live close to each other. Like if you don't drop them kids
Yeah.
off or if you don't want to like take them out the house, like I don't mind swinging by to like sit in the house with them. I might have
Yeah.
to bring one or two of mine, but still like it's not, when I say it's not a bother, I mean it.
Mhm.
And I just, and like you said, I think this podcast had a huge like role to play in that.
Yeah.
But even last weekend, I hit up my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, sorry, this is super last minute. Like our sitter fell through.
Mhm.
Can you keep the baby while we go to this engagement party?" They went to did I might have talked about this on the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to girl, she done took them to her in-laws and they done did an Easter egg hunt and had dinner and she's telling me how Ari's an angel. And I'm like, whose baby did you
Yeah.
have? Because I'm convinced like we're raising a wild thornberry. What do
Yeah.
you mean she's an angel? Um, but, and it felt good to be able to ask. And she always says,
Mm.
like, I got you. And I hear it, but then I still feel the guilt. And when I finally just like
Yeah.
ripped the band-aid off, I was like, oh my gosh, like that was so easy. But like
Yeah.
we say it, I say it. Let me stop. I say it often to people. Like, I don't mind helping you because I know
Mhm.
what it feels like to have to spend $150 just to get out the house for a babysitter, right?
Right.
The amount of planning you have to do, can they drive? Are you gonna have to take them home when you get back? Like what does that look like? Do they have to come to your house? You gotta take the kids there and pick them up. It's a nightmare. No parent
Yeah.
wants to go through that. But when I look at, the village I've created around me now, and I say that to
Mhm.
people, like we're getting to a place where we can like pull and pour with each other and
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
beautiful. And so my mind still does it, but I'm getting out of
Mhm.
it and just getting to the
Mhm.
place where I'm like, no, you know what? You offered, let me take you up on that. And know that your kids are always good and welcome with me as well.
Right.
So I think that's the thing. If especially if you've heard somebody offer, when you turn around and ask, don't let your first thought be, am I bothering them? They wouldn't have offered.
Yeah.
I would
Right.
hope they wouldn't have offered if it wasn't
Right.
a pure place.
Right.
So don't think of it as bothering.
I like that. Ooh, that pull and pour, girl.
Yeah,
We gonna have to put that on the t-shirt.
you
Uh, for the Mamas Collective. Uh, you know what? That's good, and I think that's a good note to kind of wrap and maybe talk about some takeaways because that pull and pour
Mhm.
right there, I'm taking that. I got that in my pocket.
Yeah.
So if you leave this episode with one thing, let it be this. Aside from the pull and pour, you are not alone, even when it feels like it.
Yes. Yep. And we know motherhood can be lonely, but it doesn't have to stay that way. And while we also know like connection doesn't come easy, it
Mhm.
takes intention. And it takes what
Mhm.
we've been talking about all
Yep.
since the beginning, but vulnerability. And
Yes.
that's important. We're going to have to put our phones down
Yeah.
or use them in a different way, right? Pick it up in a
Yeah.
phone call. Like get close the apps,
Yeah.
close that. Find real connection. Find a way.
Yeah.
If it's a walk, if it's a talk, if it's whatever.
Right. Right. Find a way to let's get in person and share some memes. It's funny. It's funny in person
Oh,
too.
we can laugh looking at this 6-inch screen together, boy. And I'm
Together.
talking knee slapping laughter. Like
Right.
we can get into a
We could be
groove.
shoulder to shoulder looking at
Yes.
this reel. Yeah, but see, that's it, right? And sometimes it's those types of tiny steps, a text,
Mm-hmm.
a voice memo, like let's do a walk and talk or whatever. Just showing up to that play group, even which that's hard for me to say, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, showing up to a play group or even saying, you know what, I can't get the kids off my back, so let's just be a collective unit. Let them run wild. Let them be thornberries at the park while we just
Yeah.
sitting and talking and laughing. Even when you feel awkward, that's the most important piece for me. I think is feeling awkward and doing it anyway. Just do it. Just put it
Yes.
out there.
That's if it's not so and I love that. I love that. Take
Yeah.
that too, everybody. Take it. If it is not uncomfortable,
Mm.
then it's just not challenging enough, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why when things start to get uncomfortable around me and in the things that I'm doing, I know that I'm
Mm.
growing because it's
Mm.
forcing me to change in one way or another, but always for the better. And,
Yeah.
I think if we can really just dial it back a little bit, but like
Mm-hmm.
community isn't always built in like these big sweeping grand gestures, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
just gonna like show up at your doorstep or land in your lap, right? Like
Right.
most of the time it's built in like very small, intimate, brave moments even.
Mm-hmm.
But when you let someone see the real you.
That's it, right? Vulnerability, authenticity. That's the team that makes the dream work. That's it. That's the team of players you need to have to move through loneliness if that's what you're feeling,
Yeah.
and get to connectedness. So we hope today's conversation gave you permission to acknowledge the loneliness without shame,
Mm,
and to remember that it's possible. Connection is still possible.
yep. And if it's Yep. And if this episode spoke to you, if it made you feel even a little less alone, share it with a friend. Post about it, tag us. Let's keep growing this circle.
Yeah, do all the social media things in person too, right? That's what we're saying. Like, be on social media on our For the Mamas Collective, but then
Hmm.
also go in person and do that too.
Right.
So
Have a
do all the
listening party.
things.
Get your girlfriend.
Yeah. Get your girlfriends
Listening
and come
party.
kiki with us. Come on now.
Yes.
You better walk and talk and listen and comment, post, subscribe, like, do all of that. I don't know what all it is, but do it all, okay? Leave all kinds of stuff for us. We love it. We want to engage with y'all.
Yes. And, until next time, just remember, be kind to yourself, reach out
Mhm.
when you need to, and
Mhm.
remember, you are so deeply worthy of real, true connection.
That's right. Pull and pour.
Pull
We
and
gonna
pour.
pull and pour. We gonna see y'all next week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.